Tonight, you will probably lie awake for a while. Your mind will race. You will stare at the ceiling and wonder why your body refuses to cooperate. And at some point, you will reach for your phone and Google whether something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. But the real answer is far stranger than insomnia. What you are experiencing is not a glitch. It is not a modern disease caused by screens or stress or too much coffee. It is something your ancestors did on purpose. And for most of human history, it was not called insomnia at all. It did not even have a name, because it was simply life. Here is what scientists now believe ancient humans actually did when they could not sleep. They got up, they talked, they tended the fire, and then, a few hours later, they went back to sleep. This is not speculation. It is the conclusion of one of the most surprising sleep studies of the last 2 decades. In 2016, historian and sleep researcher A. Roger Ekirch published a landmark study in the journal Current Biology, building on over 15 years of archival research. Ekirch examined diaries, court records, medical texts, and literature stretching across centuries of pre-industrial human life. What he found rewrote everything scientists thought they knew about the natural human sleep cycle. Before artificial light, people did not sleep in one long block the way most modern humans try to. They slept in 2 distinct phases. The first sleep began shortly after dark, typically around dusk. It lasted for several hours. Then, sometime in the middle of the night, people simply woke up. Naturally, without an alarm, without distress. This waking period lasted anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. People called it the watch, or the watching. Some called it the first waking. Then they went back to sleep for the second sleep, which carried them through to dawn. This was not insomnia. This was the schedule. Anthropologist David Sampson at the University of Toronto studies sleep in small-scale hunter-gatherer societies, communities that still live without electricity, without artificial light, and without the pressure of a 9-to-5 calendar. His research on the Hadza people of Tanzania, one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer groups on Earth, found something that stopped modern sleep scientists in their tracks. The Hadza do not all sleep at the same time. In a 2017 study published in the Proceedings of the Royal Society B, Sampson and his colleagues monitored the sleep patterns of Hadza adults using wristband accelerometers over 20 nights. What they found was that there were almost no moments during the night when every member of the group was simultaneously asleep. Instead, different people drifted in and out of sleep at different times, creating what Sampson called sentinel sleep. At any given point during the night, at least one adult in the group was awake and alert. Think about what that means for a moment. Your ancestors were not trying to knock themselves out for 8 solid hours and failing. They were cycling through consciousness in shifts, keeping a low-level watch over the group throughout the night, and doing so without any coordination or planning. It was biological, it was built in. Your brain, tonight, when it refuses to surrender to sleep, is doing exactly what it evolved to do. The 2-sleep pattern Ekirch identified was not a peculiarity of medieval Europe. References to first sleep and second sleep appear in ancient Greek texts. Homer mentions it. Virgil references it. The physician Galen wrote about the natural waking period between sleeps in medical texts from the 2nd century. Indigenous cultures across Africa, South America, and Asia have names in their own languages for this middle-of-the-night waking. It was universal. It was human. So when did it disappear? The answer is the light bulb.